Vikki Slade.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I shall go as quickly as I can because I timed it to 5. The death of Sarah Sharif shocked us all, and as my honourable friend for Woking said before recess, we have the opportunity to change the law so that her legacy is that she is the last vulnerable child to be killed by the people who should have looked after her. We often recall the names of Victoria Climpier and baby Peter Connolly, but there are so many more children and babies who have been the innocent victims of evil parents and family members, neglectful professionals and siloed systems, and their memories should be etched on our hearts as we consider this bill. I welcome the moves in Part 1 of the bill to strengthen the multi-agency approach, slip of the tongue, but I agree with the Children's Commissioner and the Honourable Member for Lowestoft that we should go further in protecting children from assault. Some of the injuries inflicted on children like Sarah Sharif under the reasonable punishment hide were beyond belief. But if it's not defined in law, I can imagine that it must make it very difficult for some social workers to really force what is appropriate. I've been shocked by just how many of the child deaths reported are of babies, infants who haven't reached school or nursery and whose voices are literally unheard. And I worry that the role of the health visitor in the lives of new parents is so greatly reduced. As a new mum, I would join other parents in regular weigh-in sessions and playgroups alongside health visitors right through to when my child started nursery. And GPs in my constituency of Mid Dorset and North Poole have told me that they would previously liaise with the health visitors in their surgeries to warn families that were at risk. Perhaps a mum that had come in for a smear test and they were worried about domestic abuse, or a father coming in where they were worried about alcohol abuse. They could send the health visitor in and just check up on them. And that just doesn't happen anymore, thanks to the smashing of the system under the previous government. But turning to the schools part of the bill, I'm sorely disappointed that the bill lacks anything to support children with special educational needs and disabilities. There is no requirement for schools to be inclusive of such children, and nothing about the need for teachers to be trained in autism or social and emotional health. On previous occasions challenging the Minister, I've urged for more action and have been told to wait for this bill. But if this was an Ofsted judgment, it would be requires improvement. When my child was pushed out of school, unable to cope full-time, and obvious they were not going to achieve the heady heights of 5 GCSEs and 90% attendance, we seriously considered home education. To hear your child say, "Mum, they don't want me here," breaks your heart. And the lack of accountability in the academies is just not okay, and I welcome the move to bring them under more control of local authorities. But home education is a right of parents, and it can be transformational for some children. My constituent Katie, who chooses to educate her children at home, has raised concerns about the potential for schools to refer a family to social services if they indicate their wish to move to home education. I would wish that the Minister could confirm this will not be possible for a school to refer simply because a family chooses to opt out. They're also concerned about the risk to parents fleeing domestic abuse, where one parent has no involvement, and this bill requires the register to get the permission from both parents and to list both parents, which simply won't be possible. And if this means single-parent families are excluded, that's simply not okay. Finally, there is the opportunity to properly support families for whom school does not work. Page 55 talks about support but provides none. We need to see the ability for parents to access national curriculum, free resources and free examinations.